What up, YouTube? This your boy HBO'S, aka Ace Dynamo, aka Alias Ace Man, and I'm back, man. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to my videos so every time I drop one of these live videos, man, you get it right hot off the press. Let's get right into it. I'm not gonna keep y'all long. If you want to, go ahead and grab your snacks. Go ahead and grab what you like. I want to give my reaction to the HBO's TV series, the game adaptation of The Last of Us, Episode 3. Okay, this is this is all my opinion. Um, I watched the whole thing. I actually didn't watch it. Excuse me, I actually didn't watch it Sunday. I caught it yesterday because I was quite busy, so I didn't get a chance to. And then I was watching. I think I watched Royal Rumble. I watched Royal Rumble, WWE Royal Rumble on Saturday, which was dope. Um, but yeah, I caught this yesterday. Okay, and after watching it, all I have to say is that I really enjoyed this episode, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, starting from episode 1 of this series of The Last of Us, the introduction to The Last of Us as a game adaptation, as a live TV series, was bar none the best start to any video game adaptation, you know, to a TV series. You know what I'm saying? I mean, being formatted into a TV series, right? And episode 2, it was cool. I mean, it wasn't lit, but it was cool. It wasn't like the first one, but I did like the way the second one started. Y'all go ahead and watch my reaction to that one too, because I did a reaction to episode 2. Part 3, we finally get to Bill's story, right? Because we know in the game, when it comes to Bill, um, we only could take what we were given in the game, right? We didn't know the backstory to Bill or what his relationship was with Frank. And now, what I'm about to say, I don't want nobody to get offended. You got to hear me out. So, this ain't no homophobic stuff or all that crazy nonsense that y'all be saying. But a lot of people are scared to address this episode. But you know your boy ACO7 going to address this episode in its totality, right? Okay. In the video game, we knew that Bill was a gay man. Cool. Bill, Bill's town was one of my favorite biomes and scenes in the actual video game, right? Bill was cool. I liked his personality. He didn't give a fuck. And Bill was a straightforward dude, you know what I mean? Like, he had his town booby trapped and whatnot. Cool. I enjoyed Bill's town in the game. Now, within the TV series, they gave the backstory to Bill and Frank. Now, in the video game, all you got was the letter at the end, you know what I mean? Once you got the battery from the high school and all that, you know what I mean? You killing all them runners and bloaters and the bloater and you know, the clickers and stuff like that, right? Anyway, y'all know, people that played the game. Now, the only thing we knew was that letter. When you pick up that letter and you read it, he throws it down. You can actually pick it back up. A lot of people don't know when you actually read the letter in the game and he throws it down, you can actually pick it back up and you actually get a trophy. People don't even know that. But hey, there's a gem for you, right? And you know, you push you know, the pickup truck out of the garage, you know what I mean? Then you got to deal with more clickers and runners and stuff like that. All right. Now, within the HBO series, in this episode 3, them giving a backstory to Bill and Frank, me personally, I thought it was dope on certain aspects, right? It was very emotional. It was very heartbreaking and things like that. Now, like I said, you know I'm going to give it to you raw and uncut. All these YouTubers out here scared to say what they want to say because they're scared to get canceled. You know your boy ain't scared to get canceled. And I don't worry about being canceled because The people that watch me know that I come from a genuine place and never from a place of hate. Everybody know that about me. You know what I mean? I say what it is because it is what it is, right? Now, when it came to the whole sexual scene between Bill and Frank, I mean they didn't show him getting pounded, getting his back broke off, getting his back broke in and nothing like that. You know what I mean? But there was a lot of naked man, hairy chest action kissing going on. You know what I'm saying? It was uncomfortable for me, not because they were gay. It's because in real life for me, I don't like to see all that shit. I'm just gonna be real with you. Like I understood they had to tell that story and the way they told it. Um, we knew that in the video game that Bill was uh, romantic with Frank. That was his partner. He would always say, "Frank, my partner." You know what I'm saying? So we knew that Bill was gay. But what I thought was cool is how they elaborated on Bill and Frank's relationship. Like I said, I'm not into the whole showing the sex stuff like that. Because every time they were showing them kissing and stuff, I dropped my head. I'm just being honest. I dropped my head because I'm not into that. It's just like in real life. I don't like to see a male or female. Like when I'm out walking and I see a white dude with his girl, you know what I mean? And he got his hand all in her back pocket and fingering her up in her cooch, you know what I mean? Like white dudes be crazy out there in public, you know what I mean? Like they be holding a girl's flat ass and shaking her ass and got they hands down in her pants and just fingering her booty and her coochie and all, you know what I mean? All that. I don't like to see that in reality, okay? Keep that shit behind closed doors. So even in the TV show for me, I don't like to see all that sexual stuff. You know what I mean? Like I understood, like I said, I understood they had to play out Bill and Frank's relationship. I got it. But it wasn't for me. But what I liked about that whole scene was there was little things that you may not grasp because maybe you were so disturbed at watching two hairy men you lay on top of each other and kiss and all that stuff, right? You know what I mean? Unfortunately, I did catch glimpses of it, you know what I mean? Because it just kind of happened in a way, you know what I mean? I held my eyes down, I didn't know when to raise my head up, to finish watching. But what I didn't know is when Frank asked him, has he did this before? Bill said, nah, I was with a female. And I was like, oh shit. I thought Bill, in the video game, I thought Bill was gay from the jump. Bill wasn't a gay man to begin with. He said it in the show. And I thought that was so cool. Like, Bill was like, nah, I've been with a female, you know what I'm saying, back in the day or whatever, or however how he said it. He let the audience he let us knew that he was with women and he had never been with a dude before, you know what I mean? But since Frank was the only living person that this dude has been around for, it's like over a decade or whatever, you know what I mean? Frank became someone that he chose to get in a relationship with and fall in love with and take care of and, protect him. You see what I'm saying? And I thought that was really dope about that storyline. Like I said, when it came to the whole sexual act between two hairy men, two hairy white men at that, your boy ACO7 ain't really down for that. Like I said, I don't like to see people in public doing all that sexual shit, like kissing all up against the wall, you know what I mean? And dudes humping their chicks, you know what I mean? Or like all against the public library wall and shit. Like, I don't like to see that in real life. So, for people that know me, y'all know I am not homophobic at all. Like, come on, like, for real. But I call a spade a spade, you know what I mean? I'm not into watching uncomfortable sexual scenes, you know what I mean? Even if I watch movies, when I see a dude and a chick in a hot and heavy sexual scene in a movie, I don't even like watching that shit. I don't even like watching heterosexual scenes because they be breathing hard like dogs in heat. They be y'all know what I'm talking about. It sound like they got the mic in their throat on the chick and the dude, you know what I mean? And they just sound like they slaughter like dogs in heat. You know what I mean? And it's just annoying as crap. I don't like to see this in my movies. You know what I mean? Like, it's either I'm watching it, and if I'm beating off or something like that, I'm watching porn, that's a whole different thing because I'm going into porn knowing hey, I need to get my rocks off, you know what I mean? And I'm about to beat off to a chick getting pounded, you know what I mean? Getting her back broke in. It is what it is. But when it came to that scene of Bill and Frank, I wasn't into that. I'm not into that. I'm a heterosexual man. A heterosexual man. So, I mean, if you're not heterosexual, I can see how you enjoy watching Bill and Frank. I don't like watching heterosexual people do it in movies, and I damn sure don't like to see two hairy dudes be romantic with each other. You see what I'm saying? I don't even like to see two chicks do that shit. Yes, I'm that type of nigga. Like I'm a one woman guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just not into that. It is what it is. You know, like some dudes be like, "Oh shoot, I love to see females together." Not me. I don't. It's cringy to me. Two dudes is cringy to me. Watching sex scenes in movies and stuff with a guy and a chick where they breathing all hard, sounding like just dogs in heat, like they just over lustful. Like it's cringy to me. It is what it is. That's the type of guy I am. I am a one man chick. You know what I mean? I like to be with one chick, and I like to do my thing behind closed door and keep that to myself. You know what I mean? I am the man that I am. All right. But like I said, getting back to the story, besides the whole sex scene, I mean the whole sexual romanticized scene between Bill and Frank, I like the fact that Bill was not a gay man to begin with. And the whole entire time playing the game, you could only take it for what information you was given. You know what I'm saying? And I thought Bill was gay from the jump. But watching the TV show, he was not a gay man to begin with, but I understood the situation he was in. You know what I mean? Like Fedra had came in, the government had came in and evacuated that town. You know what I'm saying? And Frank was the person he saved, you know? And he didn't want to be alone. So he ended up having a bond, you know what I'm saying, with Frank. It's kind of like being in prison for life, right? If you was in prison for life, I'm not saying that's how I would be. So don't go there because that's not me. But I'm just saying I understand. It's like if a dude has got life in prison, right, without parole, he's never getting out, right? And there's a softer dude in prison, and I mean he's a guy. I mean, guys have high I can't even say the word testosterone. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The testosterone. Y'all know what I'm saying. All guys have that. So if he's locked down in prison for life, and there's a soft female or attractive looking dude in prison, and that's his only way to get his rocks off, he might do what he have to do to get his rocks off. That might not be the way he swings, when he was out, but because he got caught for his crimes, and he got to do the time, and he got life without parole, like what else choice do we have? And that's how I kind of looked at that scene between Bill and Frank. Bill was by himself for decades, you know what I'm saying, in that town, hidden down in the basement, you know what I'm saying? And once they evacuated, you seen what Bill did. Like he's a very handy dude, you know what I mean? He's a handyman, you know what I'm saying? And he was constructing a lot of stuff, you know what I mean, to make sure he had a long life, you know what I mean? He was growing his own vegetables, sustaining himself, living off the land and all of that stuff, hooking stuff up, you know what I mean? Kind of being a MacGyver, so to speak. So when he met Frank, that was a person he wanted to save. He saved him. He protected him. And even when Frank got sick, he still held it down because that was his partner and he loved Frank. He asked him on the couch when he was sitting on the couch. Frank said, "Do you love me?" Bill was like, "Yes, I do." He was like, "Well, I want you to love me like I'm asking you to," or some way. Yeah, if y'all watch episode 3, y'all know what I'm talking about. He said, "Love me like I want to be loved." You know what I mean? And he gave him instructions because he knew that was his last day. It was so emotional and so heartbreaking, man. Like, man, this is why I say Neil Druckmann is God tier when it comes to story writing. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can disagree all y'all want to. Y'all cannot like The Last of Us 2 because Joel, which was just a dirty son of a bitch, got his head bashed in with a golf club by Abby. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all mad because of that? Because I guarantee if that scene wasn't in The Last of Us 2, if that wasn't part of Joel's demise in The Last of Us 2, everybody would have just loved the game right off the bat. Right? Everybody would have loved the game right off the bat. But here's what's funny. Here's the irony behind that. Now that this HBO series of The Last of Us, this game adaptation is out, The Last of Us 2, not The Last of Us 1 remake or The Last of Us remastered or nothing, but The Last of Us 2, the video game, has skyrocketed, has skyrocketed on the Sony platform, on the PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy how many copies of The Last of Us 2 is now selling. All that hate that they was given because a shitty ass Joel got his head bashed in with a golf club, which he so deserved. He so deserved it to me because I knew Joel wasn't shit. I didn't love Joel. I didn't give a fuck about Joel because they had me using Joel killing so many motherfucking innocent people in The Last of Us 1. You know what I'm saying? He was a piece of shit. So I was glad to see Joel get his head bashed in. He wasn't my motherfucking daddy, nor was he my motherfucking uncle. Joel was a savage. Yeah, he had his good moments just like any human being. Like, there's human beings on this planet Earth that are just downright wicked and evil. But guess what? Those evil and wicked people actually love someone. Someone actually loves those wicked and evil people. And I'm talking about people that's just so viciously evil that you can literally see the demons just seeping out their pores. Guess what? As a human being, they still love someone and somebody loves them. They still have love for things because love is a priceless emotion. Love is something that everybody has. I don't care how evil you are or how good you are or how neutral you are in life. Love is a part of our human aesthetics. It's part of our human DNA. It's part of our human code. You see what I'm saying? So take it for what it is. Your boy ACO7 enjoyed part 3. I like the fact that they're not sticking with the game. Now, I watch other podcasts mad at how the way HBO was telling The Last of Us and the way it's being written. They're not liking it because it's not one for one from the game. I don't want this show to be one for one. I don't want it to be like that. You know what I mean? I like the fact, like that part in part 3 when Joel broke down those rules to Ellie. Now that was one for one when he was like, first off, you never say nothing about tests, ever. Rule number 2, you don't do this. And rule number 3, you do what I say when I say. Repeat after me. And she was like, whatever you say goes. That was word for word from the game, man. I love that. I love when they do that one for one. You know what I mean? That is an important part. That was one of the parts that I liked from The Last of Us 1. You see what I'm saying? Him saying that to Ellie. You know what I mean? Checking her to let her know, don't you ever bring up Tess. You know what I'm saying? You keep your shit to yourself and I keep my personal shit to myself. You know what I'm saying? And he gave her those rules. So that was dope to me that was one for one in episode 3. You see what I'm saying? And I like the fact that they elaborated on Bill and Frank's relationship. Like I said, besides the sex scene, didn't care too much for two hairy men kissing and rubbing and laying on each other. Didn't care for that. And like I said, I don't care seeing two chicks do that in a movie. I don't care seeing a guy and a girl being dog and he sound like they got the mic in their throat just like they've never ever been with another human being or of the opposite sex ever in their life. You know, as grown as adults. You know what I mean? Like, it's so annoying and it's so cringy. So this is stuff that your boy just don't like. Your boy just don't like that. And I definitely don't like that in public. I cannot stand it. That's what I said at the beginning of this video. I said I cannot stand when I'm out and I'm walking downtown or whatever and I see a guy and a girl, you know what I mean? He got his hand all in her back pocket and fingering her ass and fingering her cooch. You know what I mean? Like, she ain't got no drawers on, her ass flat as a board, you know what I mean? And dude got his hand all up in her ass, all up down in her shorts, her cut off shorts and shit. Like, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Keep that shit behind closed doors, man. But as far as the story, this is why Neil Druckmann is God tier when it comes to story writing. It had me engaged. It had my heartstrings being pulled. It made me very emotional, and I didn't cry. Don't get me wrong, I don't cry. I mean, I don't even cry in real life. You know what I mean? Yes, I've cried. Yes, people, I have actually cried in real life. But I'm just saying, when bad things happen in real life, where I experience bad things in life, I usually don't cry. I don't, cause it happened so much to me when I was young. A lot of like traumatic things, a lot of trauma happened to me when I was a child. So all those tears came out for me as a child. You know what I mean? So when I came an adult, everything else was just whatever. You know what I mean? Everything else was like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? People die, fucked up. Shit happens. You know what I mean? Like, so I really don't have no tears for it. You know what I mean? Even when my family members die, yeah, in my heart, I'm saddened. You know what I mean? And 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 I'm emotionally distraught, but I'm not crying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been to so many funerals in my life. I don't even cry anymore. You see what I'm saying? I don't cry. You know what I mean? Like, I give my respects, pray for the dead. You know what I mean? And I move on because I know death is a part of life for everybody. Everybody that lives is going to die. That is the way the creator, whether you believe in God or not, that's the way the order of the universe is set up. God created his creation to have life and death. There is no way out of it. If you live, you are surely to die. That is just a fact of life. There is no way around that. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how famous you are. I don't care how poor you are. I don't care how many friends you got, or how many people love you or hate you. It doesn't matter. Death will come to every single living, breathing thing. Everything that lives will surely die. So I understood that scene between Bill and Frank. Um, the fact that they had Bill go out with Frank. Now that was a twist. I didn't expect that at all. I did not expect that at all. And I'm cool with that because I'm taking this show for what it is. I don't want this show to be one for one. I do not want this show to be one for one. I know people feel the way they feel about it. I've heard people express themselves, especially like Heartache. He really hates this show. He really hates this show because it's not one for one from the game. And I respect his opinion. You know, some people want this show, they want this series to be one for one from the game. You know what I mean? Like, they might want a little backstory here and there, but they literally want this show to be one for one. I'm sorry, that would be boring to me. I do not want to watch this show and look at a live adaptation of the game. I don't want this. That's what's the point? Because I can just play the game and experience exactly what I'm watching. I don't want that in this show. So I'm glad that Neil Druckmann and the other peoples of Chernobyl or whoever the other director that's doing this, that's script writing this TV series of The Last of Us. I'm glad that they going off the rails. I'm glad they telling the backstories to some of these characters and highlighting certain things that happen that you couldn't experience in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like I heard somebody say was like, I think that was Sick Humor was like, it makes sense for him to put up the AR-15. What's the point of him carrying it around if he ain't got no bullets? Like, if you need to run or take off, you don't need to be carrying an empty AR-15. You know what I'm saying? He put it up where he knew where it is. If he find bullets, at least he can go back and get it. You see what I'm saying? But like I think Sick Humor was like, or you can just have Ellie and Joel magically pull guns out their ass. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm thinking like, I wish people will understand that about this TV series of The Last of Us. It cannot be like the video game because it would not make sense. It would not make sense. These are real human beings playing the role of video game characters. They can't move around. They can't do all the things that they did in Bill's Town like you did in the video game. Like, it would not make sense because you're watching it. You know what I mean? Like, Pascal is alive. That the chick that plays Ellie, they're real human beings playing the characters, so they can't do everything like the video game one for one. There's no way possible. It would just be stupid. It would just be stupid. But on that note, look, like I said, besides the whole sexual hairy man one-on-one kissing scenes and stuff like that, I loved every bit of episode 3. I mean, it was so heartbreaking, and I understood. Like it was so. They gotta win some type of award for this. They have to win an Oscar for this. They have to, because the way episode 3 played out between Bill and Frank's episode. I mean, yeah, between Bill and Frank's relationship, it was so heartfelt. Even when they was on their knees eating those strawberries that Frank had surprised Bill with. You know what I'm saying? In the yard. How when they bit into those strawberries, how it was like it was almost like living life again. When Bill and Frank, especially Bill, when he bit into that strawberry, the way he almost like broke down as a human being, like you seen the passion, just the gullibleness and Bill like, oh my God, I cannot believe I'm eating fresh strawberries off the ground in the world that has ended. In an apocalyptic world, I am actually eating fresh strawberries in a world that has passed. You know what I'm saying? And that scene alone, to me, I felt that. I had a big smile on my face. I'm like, yo, I felt that passion of him biting that strawberry and was like, oh, he's like, oh my God, like, oh my God, I can't believe I can't believe I'm tasting this strawberry at this time right now. So the fact that those actors embody the characters of Bill and Frank, I applaud them. I applaud them, man. I applaud them, man, because they did that shit. They did that shit straight up. I mean, if they was going for pulling heartstrings, they got me. They got me. They got me. And I cannot wait to see what happens on episode 4, man. I think it's about to go down. Mark my words, I have a feeling it's about to go down in episode 4. Like straight up, I think they about to ramp it up. I just got this strange feeling because since they're able to tell the story in a way that we don't know how it's going to be told, and it's not one for one with the game, I think we about to start seeing what the infected is really about. I don't even know the title of the next episode. Maybe the title is out for episode 4, but I have a feeling that it's going to be more about the infected and more about the government, or more about the infected and more about Fedra or the fire. I know the infected is going to have a big part in part 4. I just have that strange feeling it's about to go down in part 4. And just like I always said about the first Last of Us 1 and The Last of Us 2, anybody and everybody can get it in The Last of Us. Anybody and everybody can get it in The Last of Us. Point blank period. It's about to go down in episode 4. Mark my motherfucking words. It's your boy A7, man. I just had to give y'all my reaction and my take on part 3. I loved every moment of it. It was well written. It was told to a T. I'm glad they're not doing it one for one. That would be boring to me. I do not want to watch this HBO series being a one for one from the game. I don't want to see that. That's dumb to me. That's stupid to me. That would be so just moronic to me. I want to know backstories. I want to see things that we were not able to see in the game. Because, you know, in the game, it's all about picking those letters up and reading letters. So we got to kind of imagine, have an imagination and imagine what was really going on in these letters, or what was going on at those times when those letters was written and stuff like that. Like now it gets to be played out in a live adaptation, man. I'm telling you, this, The Last of Us, is going to go down as being the best video game adaptation of a live TV show series ever. Ever. Mark my words. I'm saying mark my words twice. I'm doubling down. You know your boy always double down on what I feel. You know what I'm saying? And you know I stand on firmly on what I believe. This Last of Us, this HBO series of The Last of Us is about to go down as the best game adaptation of a live TV series ever. I'm sorry, I think I'm saying it the other way. The best live adaptation TV show of a video game. That's what I mean. Yeah, of a video game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I kind of had it backwards. But y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying. Even when y'all hear my imperfections, you hear me still get back to perfection. Anyway, this your boy ACL7, man. I just had to wrap this up for y'all, man. I hope y'all enjoyed my reaction to this. I will be reacting to part 4 because I have a strange feeling it's about to go down, man. It's your boy ACL7. Y'all already know how I end this video, man. Exclusives, exclusives, exclusives. Yeah. Y'all be safe out there, man. Don't let the infected get you, man. Clickers might be right around the corner.